I'm happy to introduce Professor Richard Balme, who is going to chair the next session for us. Okay, he is from Science Prof.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Daphne. I'm Richard Balme. I'm a professor of political science in Sciences Po, and I'm very happy to be back to Baptist University. I had the privilege to teach here as a professor and department head a few years ago, and this university remained dear to my heart, so I'm happy to be back and happy to work again with Daphne, Professor T, and many other colleagues in the room with which we developed collaboration on these issues for many years. Our first session for this conference, after the keynote lectures, will be devoted to nuclear power. We have many experts in the field in the room, but for those of us who are not experts, I will say a few words about the situation of nuclear energy today. I checked the last report from the International Nuclear Energy Agency, and they indicate that the global generating capacity of nuclear energy was still growing in 2015, the last year of their annual report, reaching now 382, almost 383 gigawatts electrical worldwide, which is roughly, I couldn't find the exact number, but this is roughly a little bit less than 20% of electricity generation worldwide. So this is a total number of nuclear power reactors of 441, with 10 new reactors connected to the grid in 2015, and 67 reactors under construction around the world on that year, 2015. The same year, 2015, 7 reactors were permanently shut down. Now, the future of this energy is, I would say, very uncertain, very open, we could say. The International Energy Agency works on a scenario of 1,200 gigawatt in 2050. That would represent, within a wide range of estimate, between 25 and 40% of electricity generation worldwide. Now, of course, this share in electricity generation widely varies from country to country. It's very high in my own country, France. We're going to discuss that in the coming session. Above 70%, 74, 5, I think. It can be zero in some countries which have no nuclear power plants. It's, I believe, around 3% in China. So very wide variations in the use of this nuclear power electricity generation. But very important developments are expected to happen in Asia, in Latin America, in Africa, in the Middle East. So even if nuclear power decreases where it's already existing, maybe in Europe, the moderate construction of nuclear power plants in other parts of the world will probably overall increase the share of nuclear in electricity generation. I'm trying to find my... No, I guess I'll have to do without it. So, you know, this rise in nuclear power also, of course, comes with a number of questions. This happens in the post Fukushima accident, and the number of reservations and fears about this this energy. It also happens within the context of ecological or energy transitions we are all aware of. And overall, nuclear power is relatively cheap, relatively clean, at least in terms of CO2 emissions, relatively efficient. So on a number of issues, it's a good candidate for energy transitions. But of course, it comes with some specificities, and we discussed yesterday about how special is nuclear power, and indeed it is special, at least in the mind of the public. It is a special kind of energy, mostly because of the intensity and duration of potential impacts in case of accidents, and because of the uncertainties who comes with the management and treatment of nuclear waste. So even though in terms of risk and in terms of tolls, in terms of victims, coal is probably much a higher culprit than nuclear, the public image is entirely different, and therefore it makes nuclear specific in terms of governance, because it means, for governments, it means governing a potentially frightening technology. So governments have to deal with fear, or if not fear, the possibility of fear among the population when they engage in nuclear technology. So we're going to discuss some of these important aspects this morning. We have 3 papers. Interestingly, two of them focused on nuclear policy in France, or some aspects of nuclear policy in France, research conducted by Asian colleagues. So I must say this is very good. Very good aspect of our collaboration. First paper presented by Daphne Ma, on citizen engagement in nuclear governance, a case study of local information commissions, CLIs in France. And then we have a presentation by Professor Hideaki Shiroyama from the University of Tokyo, also on the Commission Locale d'Information, CLIs in France, but more focused on its potential implications for Japan. And the third paper will be presented by Dr. Dan Lifeng from Sun Yat-sen University on anti-inland nuclear power plant stakeholders as strategic deliberators, a case study on Tianxi Pengze project and Wanqiang Selau in East China. So we start with Daphne. Each presenter will have about 20 minutes. We'll try to save a short discussion time after each presentation, maybe a short question, 1 or 2 short questions. And then after the 3 presentations, we'll have a panel discussion with the 3 speakers, starting at 12. Yes. So Daphne.